Hi everyone. So for the Dreadbear's Dystopian District project, for the first video of the showcase character intros, I posted a straw poll question voting in the description, and one of the questions was, should I do a backstory on this project concept? Last time I looked, everyone answered yes. So that being said, it's time for a story. Except I'm not Candy Cadet. That's pretty obvious. So please do yourselves a favor and grab a popcorn, grab a drink, sit back and enjoy. This is going to be a somewhat lengthy video because I will be telling the story of Dreadbear's Dystopian District from the beginning and to where it currently is now. So anyways, let's go. This is Chapter 1. The Genesis. The year is 1977. A growing company by the name of Leprous Entertainment wanted to bring something that was rising up in that part of the century. A restaurant that used animatronics as entertainment as well as arcades. The company decided to make that a reality. But there were problems with that. Number one, the company was having trouble gaining traction and a foothold given the other competitors of its time, such as Showbiz Pizza, Chuck E. Cheese's, and even Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which at the time was known as Fredbear's Family Diner, all of which have already made a name for themselves. Regardless of that though, Leprous Entertainment came through and opened up their first location. A new entertainment establishment, among others across the country that would eventually be created, was settled in Hughesville, Pennsylvania. It was recently just built there. It was to be transformed into a place where kids and young adults can come in and chill out with others while enjoying the sight of a blue and black animatronic, always entertaining, always talking, always operating along with others. One is an Irish green bear, the other a crimson red fox. The blue one, the main mascot, is known as Marcus Clastos, was the first one brought to the establishment a year prior to its opening in 1976. In the following year, the other two animatronics came in. That is when the place eventually became known as Marcus's Marvelous Lounge, where it eventually gained the attention of news presses and even the Pennsylvania government itself as the most popular lounge/restaurant hybrid in the city of Hughesville. The word was definitely extravagant. Hundreds of people visited and chilled at the lounge weekly. Sales were booming. Everyone was happy. The atmosphere definitely had it all. But then things began to go downhill for Marcus's Marvelous Lounge. In 1979, the place had a failed health and workplace inspection following their second year of operation. The lounge was to close for a few months following that inspection in order to get everything back in control and to pass the next inspection. It eventually happened. The next inspection did come and they did pass it, so the place was allowed to reopen to the public for the next 13 years, as long as they passed each inspection every 2 years. As time went by, however, the place still remained popular to visitors and the local community, but there was more trouble on the rise. Throughout the twilight years of its life, Marcus's Marvelous Lounge had to deal with numerous lawsuits concerning the safety of the customers regarding the animatronics and even some ridiculous cases like bad food quality and extremely minor injuries that were non-life-threatening. The establishment won almost every single lawsuit, losing and settling a few here and there, but nevertheless, the place remained popular nonetheless, like Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which at the time had rumors of a murder taking place at the location. However, that was subject to change. In 1989, a few years before the establishment came to a real close, there were 8 people, 3 kids and 5 teenagers, were murdered during a coordinated attack by a small band of criminal thugs during Wednesday, a business day, at the establishment. The murders were no mystery, of course, unlike Freddy Fazbear's or Fredbear's Family Diner, and the criminals responsible were all caught arrested, and sentenced to life in prison in the following months, following their trials. In the meantime, Leprous Entertainment's CEO declared to have enhanced security around their only establishment at that time. Security cameras were installed, and the animatronics that remained there were programmed to connect to criminal databases in order to identify criminals and apprehend them accordingly in order to prevent another disaster as such from happening again. The animatronics themselves were also fenced in with a safety fence to keep children or other people from accidentally getting into their enclosures and perhaps causing a similar occurrence that would become known as the Bite of 87 in the following years at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. However, there was still a final nail to the coffin to come that same year. It was a Thursday night. The establishment was within 1 hour of closing their store for the night when the last disaster struck. There were customers still in the building at that time before closing, so they were just finishing up their food. The Irish animatronics enclosure was not maintained properly by the employees on staff throughout the years, and the recent safety fence that was put around on the Irish animatronic collapsed, leaving it exposed and potentially dangerous. There were around 20 customers in the establishment at this point, but one of the teens strained off to gaze dangerously close to the Irish animatronic. The animatronic suddenly had a malfunction, its programming got corrupted from an unknown source, and then the animatronic attacked the customer. The others that were away from the scene witnessed what happened. Some stood in horror, and others rushed to deter the machine from causing another killing under the company's name. The assistant manager on deck for the night quickly brought out a kill switch for the animatronic that was attacking via a remote control that shut off the animatronic, ceasing any further action. Another note, all the animatronics had this remote, but only one of them would be used. But sadly, by the time the animatronic was shut off, it was far too late. A pool of red blood surrounded the now dead, lifeless body all around the incident for everyone to see. The police were called to the incident. Everybody was questioned. The staff, the customers there at the scene, the manager, and any other assistant managers that were there. The proposed cause of the murder supposedly stemmed from the poor maintenance of the animatronic enclosures, disregard for safety, and the animatronic malfunction itself. After the incident, Marcus's Marvelous Lounge was no more. It was shut down. The Irish animatronic that caused the murder in the first place was scrapped immediately. Even the redhead animatronic was also scrapped despite not being involved. Marcus Clastos, however, was not scrapped. Instead, saved for potential future use, if the chain was to be revived. His character was thrown in the parts and service room, left to slowly rot. The establishment, once known as Marcus's Marvelous Lounge, was gone for good. Only a faint whisper in the deafening darkness. But it wouldn't be long until things looked bright once again. Chapter 1 has officially come to an end. We are now in Chapter 2, The Resurgence. Just not my Eclectic Resurgence Gmod series, before you go thinking off like that. Sorry, I had to. The year is officially 1992. Month is February, 3 years after the end of Marcus's Marvelous Lounge. The former establishment at this point was abandoned, rickety, and with a shadowy, dark, creepy atmosphere, contrary to the once bright, cheerful one given 15 years ago. Leprous Entertainment decided that their establishment needed a brand new name and a much-needed refurbishment. A new slew of characters were to grace the forgotten stages of time. The new mascot would be a black and red bear with a hat, glasses, a totally not dangerous buzzsaw, and an exposed endoskeleton hand. A redefined mascot, along with others with different thematics. The schematics for the new refit included the main concert stage and several side stages featuring the other animatronic characters. Within the first few months of the planning, 2 more animatronics were received for the establishment, alongside the main mascot known as Dreadbear Final Centurion. There was a black and white bear, appearing to wear some sort of tuxedo with a spiffy green bow tie and green eyes and top hat. The animatronic had a saxophone, and this animatronic was named Jeffrey Jazzbear. He was given the role of the jazz musician animatronic, and during test simulations, his music box flared to life in a blaze of glory. The second animatronic was a white and cool blue vixen with prosthetic blue hair. This animatronic became known as Frida the Vixen, the German storyteller. Another 6 months have gone by at this point, and by then, the remaining animatronics have come in. An orange rabbit known as Gestus, an astronaut known as Lunar the Locust, a cat named Carabellus, a raven named Corvus Tenebrae, and a marionette named Net. In September 1992, the establishment formerly known as Marcus's Marvelous Lounge has become Dreadbear's Dystopian District, restored and renewed. The establishment became a new big hit in Hughesville, Pennsylvania, and since then, it has remained popular. But perhaps the real darkness has yet to be seen for themselves. That's it for now. That, for now, is the complete story of Dreadbear's Dystopian District. The origin of how it was once a completely different atmosphere, of a different character, of a different time. It is now what it is. Anyways, everyone, I will hope to see you in the next video. And sayonara to everyone.